Welcome back everybody to Motorsport Manager. Just 3 races to go now until the end of the season. Obviously priority is going to be holding on to that 6th place in the championship. Got a nice buffer of around 30 points. Obviously we'll try and go forward if we can. But I think it's very much going to be a focus on next season now. I think it's pretty obvious we're not going to be winning the championship this season. That's for sure. But let's get on with it. So let's have a look at our mail. Car condition, interview. We may as well do one. We haven't done one for a while. Testing weekend. I swear they get these the wrong way round every time. Draper's had a great weekend. I take the blame. I've always got to take the blame because she did nothing wrong. Marchesa, on the other hand, to be honest, he did do. We had a couple of strategy errors, but no, I'm gonna criticise. That's just dropped his morale massively. There probably wasn't any point to doing that, but anyway. Hard fought win for Sabedo, not particularly useful. Alright, we've got a new part coming in and we're improving the parts of the old ones. So we need to continue. I think I will try and maybe put a couple of new parts on the car before the end of the season, but I don't know. I think just reliability and performance we should work on and try and get as big a budget as we can for next year. Sponsors, we need a new one though, in slot number 3. I mean, we're never going to use that because I won't accept that because we're not going to finish above 2nd in a normal race, let's be honest. Marketability has gone up 10% then since we started. And Dreyfus, the preferable of the 2 drivers, unsurprisingly. Car repair finished. One thing I wanted to take a look at was what we're doing for next year. I don't know where this is. I think it's next year's car. So 4.9 million. I'm not quite sure how this mechanic works yet. Every race you will be saving some money to put towards next season's car. The more you save, the better parts supplied you can afford when you hit the end of the season. The better parts suppliers. I didn't know we had parts suppliers. I thought we made the parts. Better suppliers will allow you the best possible chassis stats, tyre wear, fuel efficiency improving, and tyre heating. Okay, that's interesting. So I guess the chassis for next... I thought this was just for next year's car and maybe the more money you put towards it the better, but, well, it is essentially. But obviously we get a base chassis that we then attach the parts to, and I guess we'll get a menu of choosing which parts suppliers build which bits of the chassis, and the more money you've got, the better suppliers. Okay, that makes sense. I think medium's fine. It's quite costly each race, but obviously we want to be aiming hopefully for a championship next year, so we're going to need as good a car as possible. The other thing we need to take a look at is drivers then. The scouting. Can we sort them by who we've scouted? Yes, technically. Okay, I get it. So from what I've seen, we can only really take people from the same championship. European Racing Series. Ellie Nightingale, Musafa El Sadat, Nick Chu. Okay. They're the only ones we've scouted. And Mello, but I think he's out of contention. So Ellie John Stodder is probably the favourite so far. He's going to be expensive, but he's probably going to have room for improvement. Can we get a scout report of him? Driver traits, pet dog, pay driver. Oh, it's a she. Never knew. All female team. That'd be pretty good for marketing, I'm sure, in the real world. Meditates. Has a pet dog. Okay. The driver sponsors will pay you $249,000 a race. Involved in 50% of the driver takes part in practice only. Okay, that's interesting. One thing I was going to take a look at was our reserve. Yeah, he's terrible. Not even worth looking at. Obviously, it's not nice to take paid drivers. It's a bit of a sore point in the actual sport. at the moment, but I can understand it, and from a game point of view, I really don't mind at all. Nick Chu might be the other promising one because of his age. He's got a lot of growth, I would have thought. El Sadat is about half the price, but I don't know how much he's going to improve at 23. Nick Chu. Wow, that's a lot of traits. Focus, dumb, wonderful. You can imagine that this is someone that's scouted, he's come back, yeah, he's really fucking dumb, mate. He's writing autobiography and he's training for a pilot's license. No, I want to know what he's like on track. Okay, that's why I asked you to scout him. I don't want to know his life's achievements. However, with driver, I would never have that idiot Alex Rogers. I didn't know that kind of thing was in the game. That's quite cool. Obviously, we don't have him in the game, but writing autobiography, increasing marketability. He's got too many negatives, to be honest. He's very marketable, but lightning reactions. But the dumb mechanic relationship, teammate morale, chairman's happiness, focus loss. No. I think John Stotter, she is the favourite. So we'll see how these three go that we're scouting. But I think that's going to be the favourite for next season. Obviously we won't go to negotiate till the end of the season. I presume it will give us some kind of prompt. Right, let's continue. Waffling on far too much as usual. The car then. So what are we improving? So brakes, we've got a good and an average. We're improving the reliability of 1. How do we get extra slots here? Factory. Okay. And the reliability we're also improving is our gearbox. Performance of the brakes. Nearly at max, so we'll leave them running. What could we do with? Got lots of engines. Suspension, that's banned. We could do some new suspension actually. We'll upgrade that before the end of the season then. A good part as an average part. Actually, the average does actually add money to it, doesn't it? Yeah. And we'll get the great part because it costs us no extra, and it's going to help with experience. I think that's how I've grasped how it works. Anyway. You have an empty. Yeah, I don't want to pay the money. Okay, so some new suspension parts on the way. 16 days. We'll be ready in time for Tondela then. The suspension build is finished. Yep, I'm well aware of that. Right, let's continue. We want to improve the reliability of the new parts as well if we get time. Let's just pause it and see how it's getting on. Scouting report finished. Christian West is a low quality driver in the European Racing Series. His potential is good, though, and given the chance to improve, he would certainly be one of the better drivers. Fitness is a strength, and consistency is his shortcoming. Okie doke. Where is he? There. Terrible. Nope. How old is he? Nope. Okay. He's definitely off the list. We'll just let these two scout and then we can get an idea if we need to scout anyone more. I think John Stoddard is really the way to go. But we'll see if any of the other two that we're scouting seem preferable. That's what I was going to look at, whether we'd actually finish the stuff. Okay. So, brakes. Nearly there. Reliability still improving. 59% on that gearbox. We're probably okay with that reliability, so we may as well improve something that's a bit lower. Those two engines are at 100%. Good. Gearbox. That could do with improving the suspension. Why have these all got a low... The two that we've built have both got a low rule risk. Oh, I remember what... Oh, Foxworth, I'm sorry. I remember what you said now. Yeah, because they're all components of the same... Oh, we're doing the same thing. Oh dear. If we cancel it, do we get the money back? Oh, I don't know. I can't risk it now. We're just going to have to let it run. We've probably wasted that money now. Yeah, basically, what Fox was in the comments is that all the parts, they're not separate parts. They actually make up different components of the same part. Oh, how could I forget that? So if you click, obviously, a great setting, but it's got a risk of breaking the rules, the whole part is going to have a risk of breaking the rules. Oh dear. Okay. In which case, we're going to... let's improve the reliability of that suspension, and we're going to have to improve the performance of this part. I don't want to risk breaking the rules at this point in the season. That performance is really good, so we'll cancel that. It's only 5 to go, and we'll improve the performance of one of our original parts, which will actually 115 will take it up to about the average part anyway, so it's not a massive loss. Obviously we're losing out on a potential of 149 if we just produced a good part, but what can you do? My mistake. It's a learning season. If we hit the chairman's objective, then I can be happy with the first season. It'd be nice to be able to maybe get 5th, but we'll see. Sabedo, Andre is one of the better drivers in the European Racing Series. He still has some potential to improve too, which is great. Andre's greatest strength is his braking. His worst is feedback. He predicts to finish 5th. He was, of course, the winner last time out in Guildford. Where is he? Navarro, Sabedo. Oh, he's quite old. Not in a bad way or anything. It's just if he's... Oh, he's really cheap though. He might be a better pair of hands than Marchesa. But we're building for the future here, and we want 2 top quality drivers that can hopefully stay with the team up into the next championship if we ever make it. So John Stottier, still my favourite, I think. Might be worth having a look if we can actually make an offer now. I don't really know how it works. Approach driver. I think we can. Not interested. Well, that's good. I'm glad I found that out now. 3 months remaining of the contract. Maybe when she loses the contract it might be a bit easier. I think we'll do what we were going to do and wait till the end of the season. So we've got the new suspension part, but if I've understood it correctly, which I think I have, yeah, they've all got risk of a rule break, which is a bit of a shame. Do we go for one more part? I think we do. If we can maybe sneak 5th, we'll get more prize money, I should have thought. So let's continue building suspension and do it right this time. We've wasted the money now, which is a shame. But reliability at medium speed corners, +5 to build date, 8 days after race. Yeah, we're not, even if we do that. Yeah. We're still not going to be able to get it before the next race, so we'll build that obviously for the race afterwards. Yep. Ouch. Yeah, we've wasted a lot of money on that. Right, last part of the season. 100% this time. That'll be before the second to last race, the penultimate race, so that'll be about right. Right, let's just continue to the Tondela Grand Prix then. Got some mail first. Really? Modelling job with that moustache? Really? Okay. I mean, it's up to them. It's men's, definitely not men's fitness, I don't think. I just wanted to let you know I've been asked to do some modelling work for Jiffrey. It's a pretty nice package that they're offering me, I've got to say. Jiffrey are the best underwear. Oh my god. Underwear company. He's sleeping around, he's got an underwear contract. Marchesa. Let's hope you get a drive next year. He probably knows he's going to be out the door. He's trying to get as much money in as he can. The best around. Can't wait to strut my stuff. And you never know, they might even help us pick up some new sponsors. What's traits impact? Well, there's nothing negative. It's just a trait added. Okay, no decision to be made. I don't really know why you informed me then. But thank you, I guess. We'll go for 9th and above again. Second is going to be a big ask. Right, let's see how we're looking for parts then. Brakes are going to remain the same then. Same way round. Yep, I think so. Engine. Yep, those two engines are identical, so that's good. Gearboxes. We've got 2 average gearboxes. We've still given Marchetta the best one. I think I'm pretty decided that Dreyfus is staying and Marchetta's going. So I'm gonna give Dreyfus the better parts now, just so that she can get the better results, hopefully. And the suspension, obviously, this is where we've got a bit of a problem. Really struggling in that. We've built so many suspension parts and they've all got rule risks, because I just didn't understand how it works, which I do now. But it's a lot of money and time wasted. But yep, I think that's all done then. Continue. Okay, let's get into practice then. Okay, so let's assign the cars. Setup. Let's take a look then. Okay, so I think it's worth... what does it look like? I think we probably need about medium downforce. Looking at it, quite a lot of low speed and high speed corners, quite a few straights, so we'll keep it, I think, about balanced. I think we'll go a long way towards understeer. And I would have thought speed balance probably be about the middle. So we'll see how he gets on with that, and then obviously make the changes as we need to. Dreyfus, maybe a bit further that way for downforce. Handling, we'll move a bit towards understeer, and maybe a bit towards acceleration. And we'll send her out on the soft tyres. Right, let's get going for practice then. Okay, let's send them out. I don't know why it asked me this again when we just selected it all. It does annoy me, but it's one of those little things. Out they go. I think practice, I don't know why I watch them go around all the time, to be honest. We should probably just fast forward it and let them come back into the pits, and then we can see what they think of the setup. Do let me know how you're liking the pacing and having it all mixed up. There is a chance, obviously, season 2 I could change it. I could put all the build up, the practice and the race into one episode, cut it up a bit more, but let's put it back to normal speed. I quite like this sort of getting the whole picture, you know, and going through the whole race weekend. Practice we can definitely speed up, but the race I like it to be in real time. 76, good start, excellent on the speed balance, poor handling, okay downforce. Okay, so I want to keep that balance the same, which we can probably do. The gear ratios, handling, I think I want to take a bit more towards oversteer, and then gear ratios we'll bring back to the middle. Let's try that, shall we? Tyres are fine, we'll keep her on the soft tyres. Race trim, 2 laps, yep, blah blah blah. And Marchetta, oh, he doesn't look happy at all. 43%, not the best start, that's for sure. Right, I'm gonna try going for high downforce. We're gonna go quite a bit towards oversteer. Suspension, we can probably do most of it with that actually. And we'll go towards acceleration, and then we can go back towards top speed if it's worse. Same tyres. Out he goes. Speed it up. Now I don't know yet, because obviously this is just practice, but it's looking very sunny, and it is Portugal. I'm hoping for a dry race. Wouldn't that be nice? Be interesting to see how we can play the strategies when it's pretty straightforward in terms of not being a wet race, which kind of forces you into the same strategies. And I'm always someone that likes to try and do something different, at least with one car. But that's very difficult to do when the weather keeps changing and you're constantly having to be forced onto other... Oh, that's not brilliant, is it? Forced onto other tyres. There's not much you can do with strategy. A full dry race, there are definitely different things you can do with strategy. So, it'd be nice to have a dry race and be able to sort that out. Okay, it's improved by 1%. Poor, okay, poor, okay. They've gone the opposite way. So, handling's definitely gone the right way. So probably more oversteer and a higher downforce. So higher downforce, which naturally actually gives us more oversteer. Let's move it a bit. Tyre pressure and gear ratios. Can we get that back to the same one? We can. Okay, tyres still okay. Yep. Back out she goes. Now we can send Marchetta out. I hope to God this is improved. 90. Whoa! Well, that's a spot of luck. Wow. It's gone from 43% to 97%. True master our mechanics. That's for sure. Okay, I guess let's just try maybe tweaking it a tiny bit and just see if it improves. We can always go back to that 97% balance. But we'll send him out again. I'm chuffed with that. Okay. Around they go. Bring in Marchetta and bring in Dreyfus. Wow, to have one car on 97% after 6 minutes is a godsend. And maybe it's him that's going to find the better setup this weekend. Dreyfus, it's a bit of a shame because he's got by far the worst car. But it's been Dreyfus the last few weekends that's got into the high 90s. Excellent, great. We've improved it even more by looking at it. Wonderful. Okay, how's Dreyfus doing? 95, look at that. We're bossing this. Okay, handling we just want to change. What did we use before? Okay, maybe let's try a bit more oversteer. Can we get the speed balance back? We can. Just a bit more oversteer and just see if it makes a difference. The tyres still okay? Yeah, they're fine. Both in 90, in the high 90s already. Love it. 96. Great, excellent, excellent. What did we do? I don't understand how that's a step backwards. Can we get... Maybe we've got to go the opposite way, so slightly more... original... Yeah, slightly more understeer then. Maybe 2 clicks. And then we get the speed balance back, not perfect. No, that's the problem. Key ratios. We want a bit more understeer than that. Oh, this is going to be hard to balance. Perfect. Right, let's try that. We've never gone higher than 97%, so it'll be interesting to see if we can actually improve from that. Got loads of time left as well, which is great. I would love to say it's, yeah, we've nailed it, I've gained all the information of how to tweak the car, and I've read the track perfectly, but it's not. That was complete luck. The 97 from Marchesa and 95 from Dreyfus was a bit more calculated. Kind of worked it out from the two. Right, Dreyfus, I think that would have gone up then. Excellent, good. Excellent, great, excellent. No, it's gone down. That's because that's gone good. So, slightly more oversteer? If it was already understeer. No, slightly more understeer, I would have thought. Actually, yeah, let's just use the original setup. Use setup. Why hasn't it used it? Use setup, right, okay. Slightly more understeer. Can we get that speed balance back on right? No. Maybe one more tick. Right, let's try that. Nothing to lose at this point, really. I've got 95 and a 97 hammered in. But yeah, my chest has gone backwards. No, it hasn't. It's gone up a percent to 98, but we've lost an excellent. I don't understand this game. So we need slightly more acceleration? Okay. That's far too much. Oh, this is a horrible balancing act. Shit, just go back to it. I want more Sure, let's try it. I'm not going to turn down a 98. We've got time left in the session. This is just a party piece, really. Just try different things. God, I hope it's a dry race. If it's a dry race, I think we've got a good chance of a great result here. Two great setups, and if we can play the strategy we want. Oh boy. We could really do with a good result. I think 5th is still possible. And 5th would be great. We can exceed the chairman. I forgot to bring them in. Wonderful. Well, you're going to find out next time then, I guess. Whether we've improved it or not. But at the very minimum, we've got a 97 and a 98% setup for the Tondela Grand Prix, and hopefully it will be a dry one. Really happy with that. And although I kept complaining that I really wanted much longer practice sessions, I think we've started getting the hang of it. At least this weekend. Both cars, that's the first time we've had nearly perfect with both cars. And if we don't have a good weekend from here, then it's our fault now. The drivers have got everything they need. We just need to give them the right strategy. So that is going to be it from this episode. New thing, I thought we'd try. Maybe leave your predictions as to how you think we'll finish in the race, as from practice, for the next episode, which will be going out. I think it will be on Tuesday again now. They've been Thursday and Saturday the last few weeks, but it should be Tuesday. Should be back to that normal slot. And hopefully we can have a great race. I just hope it's dry. Please be dry. Does it tell us? It says the race is sunny. I think we're going to have a all dry race for a change. Oh, I can't wait. But as always, if you have enjoyed this video, smash that like button. If you want to leave your predictions or advice for the main part of the career mode, then leave that down in the description below. And if you're new to the channel, you can hit that subscribe button, because it means the world to me. So until next time, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again very soon. These battles have often been contained on single racetracks. Now it's going global. The chosen chariot for this is the Red Bull 2016. Brilliant in the bends, but often hampered by its Renault engine. Lacking power on the... Sorry? What do you mean? They make watches. Oh, okay. Can they make up for the deficit on the streets with their Tag Heuer engine? Sauber, a team that often I get confused as to whether they have overachieved or underachieved. A team of humble beginnings, founded by Peter Sauber in the 1970s. He would eventually work his way up the ladder to win back-to-back Le Mans races in 1988 and 1999 with the incredible Sauber Mercedes C9, a car that was relatively unchanged between the 2 years, such was its dominance. It was then that Peter Sauber decided to take a foray into Formula 1.